Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pink Table Talk. How are you all doing today? Thank you so much for joining us for another awesome episode right here. I hope that you all caught our part one. We are talking about the Black female in America, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the great, the small, all of it. And I'm your host, Maria Reed, and we are back with Miss Wandidra Stafford, Miss Kat
Hello.
Braxton, Miss Nikki Brown. I am so happy to have you all. How are y'all doing today?
Great.
I'm good.
Look at them, great, good. We are going to get all into it today, so make sure that you share and like this. Big shouts out to the Women of Hope at the House of Hope Atlanta. Love you guys. Big shouts out to our church family, the House of Hope Atlanta, our pastor, Dr. E. Dewey Smith, Hope TV, everybody, they mama them, all of you. We love you guys. I hope that you all are enjoying our time together today. So let's get into it. We are talking about Black females, women of color, specifically here in America and some of the things that we deal with and that we don't talk about that much. And I believe this is very educational for everybody, really, because sometimes because you go along to get along, you do well at your job, people don't understand some of the backlash and the things that you have to think about in the back of your mind and how you come across and what you say. And today I want to kind of talk really quickly about entrepreneurship amongst Black females. And I know in Atlanta, we are number one for entrepreneurship with African Americans as well as minority women. And a lot of other states and cities are trending in this area. So, why do you all believe that this is the case? And I know we talked about corporate America on our last topic. So, we can start with you, Deidre. Why do you believe that? And she's an entrepreneur. Why do you believe that so many women are going into entrepreneurship, and why did you go into it?
Well, for me, I went into it because I had reached a certain level when I was in corporate America where I couldn't go any further unless I changed my career. I was in a
Mm,
management position and I couldn't get any bonuses or anything because I had reached my max. So, of course, I got into real estate, doing my own thing, and I've been doing that since 2005. And now I'm selling health and wellness products, and I just can't see going back into corporate from that experience, knowing I couldn't get to another level because
mm,
I just can't. So entrepreneurship is harder to me, but of course, if you're passionate about what you're doing, you're gonna love it. But it is more work than what I was doing. But I'm okay knowing that
right,
I can go where I need to go in it because it's mine. So.
right. Right. That's a great answer. Yeah, thank you for that. Wow. What about you, Kat? What about this entrepreneurship thing? Why do you think that so many Black women are getting into it?
Because it's necessary. Um, that's what we do. We make ways out of no ways. Um, we're not looking for someone to offer us seats at the table. We build the table,
Yes,
create
ma'am.
the chair, do what we need to do to fulfill our own purposes. That's what we come from. That's our lineage. That's our heritage. That's our ancestors. That's what we do. This is who we are. We manage. We
Yeah.
make it work. We understand that, as we were speaking about in the previous episode, when you look at corporate America, we're disenfranchised. We're always at the bottom of the totem pole. We're constantly having to be on and work on eggshells. That's not fulfillment for everyone. It's necessary. You have to be able to tap into your gifts, your talents,
Yep.
and be able to align them with your purpose. Once that mix is found as a Black woman, you are unstoppable. It's Black girl magic. That thing is real. It's not a joke. It's
Yeah.
serious, and we're seeing it in the cities where we blossom and flourish the most.
Mhm.
Atlanta, Charlotte, North Carolina, Washington, D.C. This is where we reign supreme. It's there for the taking for us. So we go to where we know we're going to be appreciated and uplifted, and that's usually with our people. We have to be able
Mhm.
to market to ourselves. No one else is going to give it to us. No one else is going to support us. It's necessary. This is what we have to do. It's out of necessity.
That was good, Kat. Girl, you just gave
I
us a
know.
word on today.
Yes.
That
I
Listen, she did a whole
was
offering.
so,
Okay.
yeah, that was so true, though. That is so true. I love it. I love it. What about you, Nikki? What are you thinking?
Cat said it all. I mean, there's no need for me to come behind that whole sermon. I mean, she said it all.
Look, I'm ready
Yeah,
to do something
Right. What's the next question?
else now.
right, right. But I was thinking, as just going to bringing it into context as Black women, we take nothing and make it into something. That's what women
Yes.
are anyway in general. But with us, and Pastor talks about this all the time, Pastor Smith, about us coming across the transatlantic. These are our ancestors, somebody just
Yeah.
giving us hog guts. We making it into chitlins with rice, and we turning everything into a delicacy. We doing certain things and frying
Yeah.
things up to make it taste better and palatable, seasoning everything down. We've done so much, and then even having to deal with having our children ripped out of our
Going through it.
arms on auction blocks and still being tough enough to keep going and being raped. I mean, we've come a long way.
Yes.
And I think that when
Yes.
you start really going into slavery up until now, the Jim Crow leading all the way up, and you really look at that, that's why it's so important to have that in schools. But a lot of
Yeah.
people don't because they feel like, for me, if you know who you are and where you've come from, you act a lot different than when you when you don't know. So it is extremely important. And I believe that entrepreneurship is a part of that. We're able to make something out of nothing. We go and
And
get it done.
definitely when you tap into your giftings and your talents and understanding your value. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Hmm.
said, your creativity. Like I just feel like when I read something that the ages people who are in the age of 25 to 35, they really, go into the entrepreneurship activities. Those ages, we don't want to work. We don't want to work the 9 to 5s. We want to make our own money. And like what Slim said, it's hard. However, when you find that this is my passion, this is my love, I'm going
Right.
to continue to do it because eventually it will pay
Yeah.
off. And once you get that in your mindset that I'm going to put in the work, I'm going to put in the sweat, the blood, the tears, eventually it's not just for me, it's going to be for my child, my child's child, because the others do it. This is
Right.
why they get passed down all everything. And so once I figure out my value, my creativity, I want to pass that down. Like you said, they don't teach that in the schools. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And so for me, I'm a teacher. I understand my value. Eventually I will have my business. And so I try to teach my students, look, you have something in you that you can create and that you can
Hmm.
open up your own business. Then you teach
Right.
your child. Your child's going to teach your child. And this is how we can kind of keep it amongst our culture. But again, we have to tap into our inner,
Yeah.
for us
Yes.
to figure out like, okay, oh, I can do this. I can open up my business, but they make the application so intimidating. You know what I'm saying? We don't
Right.
understand like, oh, this is so long and drawn out. Like, oh, it's $200 to get an LLC or and so
Right.
it's discouraging. You know what I'm saying? So people, they be like, they'll push it to the side. But
Hmm. Yeah. Most definitely. I concur and agree with all three of you. I think that that's the truth.
Do you not understand? That is the very reason why you don't need to say to a person that I love you. If you say I love you, you're saying that you're going to get all 12 of these from me. You're going to get me not being envious. You're going to get me not having an active record and recollection. You're going to get my patience. You're going to get my kindness. You're going to get me bearing and enduring all. And if you can't give that to a person, don't say that you love them. Say I like you a lot. Say I have a strong affinity for you. Say I'm feeling you. I'm digging you. But don't you dare say you love them if you're not prepared to do these 12.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
What is your theology of worship?
I think theology of worship for me is just the study and understanding of God. And believe it or not, we as musicians, what we sing and what we teach about is really how we interpret what God is, who and what God is in our lives. We carry a lot of power. That's why it's imperative that we study God's word. We're in an intimate relationship with Him, because the outpouring of ourselves and what we bring to the table, the songs that we select, even how we view text and decide and discern, is out of who we see God is in our lives.
My next question is, we just had some great appointments, and we talked about Ketanji Brown Jackson, and her great appointment to the Supreme Court. And we've got Kamala Harris as an Indian African American in her position. We got going on in a lot of positions, right? But it's still not enough. Because the other races have been there plenty of times before us. But do you all believe that these are a sign of things to come with Black and brown women getting into position? Do you think that it'll be kind of a cutoff or a backlash like we had with Obama? Or do you believe that it will be a full-fledged turnaround? What do you all think?
I wish I could
Everybody's
say
breathing
yes.
hard.
I wish I could say yes, but the reality is I don't think so, because of what history has taught us. We have to look at where we are now. It is 2022, and we are still battling, fighting the same battle time and time again. Why are you guys celebrating Ketanji Anthony? We shouldn't even be in a space where it's shocking or such a milestone for anyone to be the first Black anything at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
This is not even where we should be at this point, but this is where we are. So it lets us know that we still have so far to go. It's like they speed their food, just feeding us opportunities by the spoonful. We'll give you a little bit here, a little bit there. We'll open up this opportunity here, and we'll let you in here, but we're not going to do it too much. You're not. When do you think you're going to see another Black female Supreme Court justice? Honestly,
Mhm.
Or Black
when do you
Wow.
honestly expect to see that again? When do you
Mhm.
honestly expect to see another Obama?
Yeah.
Realistically speaking, if someone were to ask you to, when can you see that happening again? No one's going to say in the next 5 to 10 years, because it's so unlikely. So it's not necessarily, to me, considered a sign of things to come. It's what they've always done. It's give us enough to pacify us, and maybe they'll pipe down for a while and back off of us.
Yeah.
And then, we can revisit this again in another 5 or 10 years or so.
On the flip side of that, my question becomes, when we are in these positions, what are we doing, right? For vice president, what are we doing? Where are you? how are we working? You know what I'm saying? It's like we're here now. It doesn't stop here. Like, let's keep going. Let's keep the momentum going. Like, all right, what we're fighting for. You know what I'm saying? Like Obama. All right, we got this going. We got the Obamacare. Okay, but let's not just go off the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And we just disappear. Let's continue to work on, all right, we have the U.S. Supreme Court. All right, now what are we working on next? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to, see. Let's keep working on the next first whomever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I like to see. And not the next 20 years working on the next,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
Most definitely. I like that. Deidre, what do you think?
I agree with the both of them. Yeah, it's just yeah. I've never really thought about that question. So yeah, you just think that this is now. It's like we're on it now, but then when you like, no, we're not. Okay,
Right.
but yeah,
It's the
But on the
truth
flip
because
side, I will say
yeah,
I feel like for this generation, specifically millennials, my era, I feel like we are more militant in our approach. We're more relentless. It's more like you're going to hear us, you're going to
yeah,
see us, we're going to make
yeah,
noise by any means necessary. I think if we're able to keep that momentum steadfast and not let it just be a phrase for a hashtag or a
mm-hmm.
slogan, if we're able to do that, I think we'll be able to force the change that we want to see. But I still think it's going to come much slower than we would like to see it.
yeah. And it takes a while. I mean, if you think about it, we are only really, it'll probably be what 100 years since Jim Crow and I mean, it wasn't that long ago. Like our parents' era was segregation. So, I
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
mean, we're not
Mm-hmm.
that far removed
Right,
from
right.
everything. And it takes a while to get to those places. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to take a second. It's
Mm.
definitely going to do that. But my next question in talking about that is I'm noticing with a lot of our successful women of color that they're dating outside of their race, marrying outside of the race,
Mm-hmm.
and having men who are not Black. I mean, it's just the way we can
Mm-hmm.
put it. So my question is, why do you believe that? Why do you believe that very successful women, Katanji Brown Jackson's husband is a white guy, Kamala Harris, Serena Williams. I mean, the list
Mm-hmm.
goes on and on and on, and they seem to be very happy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, why do you all believe that is the move at this point? Because it's kind of a trend. Every time we see a successful Black woman, it's like, okay, she's got a white guy. Okay, well, what's going on here? So, what do you all think?
I think it's they're in a different environment. You know, you know,
That's
our
really true.
our brown men are not there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so that's what they have. That's what they are around now, and I really believe that's what it is. I remember
Mm-hmm.
moving to Florida and I dated white guys. That was the environment I was in. You know, but coming
Mm-hmm.
back to Georgia, going into a Black neighborhood, I dated Black guys. So I
Mm-hmm.
think it's really the environment. I really don't think that they just say, "Oh, I'm gonna go get me another race now," you know, because I've made it.
Mhm.
I think it's just the environment that they're in.
I like the way she just threw in that she dated white guys. I'm like, oh, okay. That was gonna be my next question, but okay, Deidre. She down with the
I was
world.
young. I was young.
It's all good. It's okay. It's okay, sister.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
Different
think,
tax
Kat?
bracket.
What do
I
you think about that?
Yeah.
Dating
I agree
outside
with
of our
Deidre.
race.
I agree
Mhm.
with Deidre.
Mhm.
I think it's a matter of proximity. You
Yeah.
know, what
Mm-hmm.
is your daily environment like?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who are what caliber of people are you spending time with on a daily
Yeah.
basis? And I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
there are some women who just have their preference. This is what I
Right.
like. But I
Right.
think for the most
Mm-hmm.
part, it's about proximity. What am I
Mm-hmm.
attracting? You have to think about that energy and that effort
Yeah.
too. A lot of it is what
Mm-hmm.
you are attracting. What are you putting out?
Mm-hmm.
And that has a lot to do with what it is that you draw
Mm-hmm.
in. So I mean, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's necessarily a point of this is just what I'm
Right.
looking for. This is what they have attracted because of what they have achieved and where they've ascended to.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. Nikki, what about you? What do you think?
Different tax bracket. You know. Hey,
Yes,
Lord,
I
she's
Nikki.
on.
mean,
Yes.
I love it.
We stand by. I can do bad by myself.
right? I no, let me just but no, going back to that protection type, well, I guess a protection, but sometimes, our men just they don't value us. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I feel like they should, you know what I'm saying? Then you have, other race, they call us the queens or whatever, and they just,
Mhm.
just treat us differently, and again, it goes back into understanding your value, understanding your worth.
Mm-hmm.
And when you understand that, you're not going to accept anything less than.
Mhm.
And when you meet that person in a tax bracket as yours, and they really value you, I just feel like it doesn't matter what they look like, what race they're
Right.
in.
Mhm.
And if you're really comfortable with each other, like, hey, it's to each his own, and
Yeah.
it's just, listen, they just successful, just
Yeah.
unfortunate. I mean, black guys date white women every day. Look at the basketball players and other successful black men. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to date us because we're angry. We talk back. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what they say. We talk back,
Yeah.
and they don't like all of that. We're not
Mm-hmm.
submissive enough,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we can't have the basketball players. So I don't mind dating outside of my race and being
Okay.
submissive. I need to adapt to Southern hospitality. So, Liver, you have to teach me.
This look here, boy. Lord Jesus have mercy. She is killing me today.
I love
Girl.
it.
She put like,
I
I don't
love
mind,
it.
with the tax bracket. But I think that, I do believe it's environment. I believe it has to do a lot with um what your environment, what you enjoy doing. Like if you're a quirky
Mm-hmm.
person, you enjoy certain things,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a certain kind of man that's there. And then too, I believe that it has to do with a lot of, you know, ratio of black men are in
Mhm.
prison that we keep forgetting
Mm-hmm.
about. We have,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of men that are black and brown that are in prison. So our numbers are
Mm-hmm.
already skewed.
Yeah.
And then when we start going into alternative lifestyles and all these different, then you're breaking it down even more. Then if you want somebody who's
Right.
this and that and come from this kind of family and this, you're looking for a needle in a haystack ratio wise,
Mm-hmm.
which is why
Mm-hmm.
many women date outside of their state or wherever, with online dating or whatnot, and outside of their race.
An iMac computer, but you have a cell phone. Maybe you have an Apple cell phone. Leverage that to then create what you find important.
How do we make sure that our children, what they're learning is positive?
Yeah.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Today, we're going to be making some pickles. Pickles is a Haitian condiment. You have cabbage, carrots, shallots, bell peppers and onions, white vinegar, and you let it sit in the refrigerator and chill.
But my next question is, would you date outside your race now, currently? And we're all single too. Would you all date outside your race and why? I'll start with Nikki since she was so adamant about talking about it.
I would. I definitely. at this stage, I definitely would. I would try it.
Okay.
Because like you said, I'm 35, I'll be 36 in a month, and my age African American men, they're not here. They like each other. You invited me on
I'm
the
so
show.
done. I'm so done.
It's all right.
I keep telling y'all she need to be on Friday Night Live. This is where Nikki needs to be. But she's not lying. She's no lie.
It's the
It's no lies
truth.
detected.
She's not lying.
No
Pastor
lies
Smith
detected.
says all the time. Like in Atlanta, like what 47% of women in Atlanta are not going to get married. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the ratio like is there unless they're moving into Atlanta or you meet somebody outside of the state. This is reality. And you
Yeah.
have to accept that.
Yeah.
So
And statistically, you should date outside of the Atlanta area if if you're trying to talk to somebody because, if you just stay here and just go to work and go home, you're not the statistics go down. And I'm not saying God can't do anything, but what I am saying is we have to be realistic and look at where we are and
Right.
what we, got going on. So yeah, you're right, Nikki. What about you, Kat? Would you date outside your
Um,
race? Yes, ma'am.
I have. I have.
Okay.
It's not ideal.
Okay.
um, I'm not opposed to it, but it's not ideal. I really, I don't really have time to explain or teach you the cultural nuances of why you can't be touching my hair and in my kitchen, why you can't have your dog at the table when it's time to eat. Like
This is
I
going
don't
to
I don't
sound
want to
really famous.
explain why you can't bring your mama's green bean casserole to the like. I just don't. It's just not ideal. It's too much work for me personally. And I've been there. It's either the green bean casserole or the enchiladas that's got everybody running to the bathroom. It's just not gonna work for me. It didn't work for me. I'm sorry, didn't work.
So would you ever try it again? No. Okay. Never mind.
Maybe if they were biracial and there is
Okay.
some African American culture there, I think that would be a little bit more conducive. Never say never.
Okay.
It's just not. It's not on the radar for me. Is what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I got you. Oh my God, Deidre, what about you?
I would.
Kira, you would? Okay.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
there a reason why?
And I found that they do their research on us, so they already kind of know what they can and cannot do. So yeah, I would.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm still holding out on the brothers. I love the brothers.
Yeah.
I've never dated outside my race and I don't think I probably will. I
Yeah.
just don't see that, but maybe I'm limiting myself, but I like black men. I just do.
Just try
Yeah,
it.
That's
Just
got
go out on at
I do
least
too.
one date. Just one date.
no,
No.
I don't know where to start. And I've been hit on by white guys and I hadn't even known. A lady told me, she said, he's hitting on you. And I was like, what?
What you want him to say? Hey, shout it. What you want him
I
to
was
say?
like,
What the
I,
hell?
oh,
Right.
Maria,
I
what
just
part of it
wasn't
did you
paying
miss?
attention.
You want to be like,
I
er,
wasn't
like
even it wasn't that. It was just like I didn't even put him in my sphere of somebody that might even be looking at me. So I didn't even, because I was out west and I've noticed every time I go west, I get hit on by white guys. Here it's
Mm-hmm.
not like it is there for some reason. I mean, it's like white guys just come, hey,
Mm-hmm.
how you doing? What's going on with y'all? What you got going on? I'm like, what? What, huh? I be a little like, wait a minute, what? So yeah. I've been hit on, but I don't catch the clues. I'm not paying attention. I'm just not even there. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's great, but I hadn't paid attention.
Yeah.
Anytime they start telling you they got yachts, they have condos, they have this, they have that, and come on, I'm gonna take you to dinner. They want you.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Look, I got to get up these tables off when they cancel the show. They gonna be, he got
No,
to
they're gonna
die.
ban me from the show. They're like, Minister
That
Nikki
is
Brown
so funny
cannot
though.
come back.
That is hilarious. But it's the truth though. But switching gears, so how do you all feel about just being a Black woman in America? Do you feel safe? Do you feel like this is something that you want to do? I know, and I'm asking this because I've noticed a lot of, well, I won't say a lot, but there has been kind of a lot of Black women are moving to other countries because they're like, I feel safer here. I feel like I don't have the weight of a lot of things here. And they're encouraging others to do that. I'm watching a lot, they call them expats, that are moving to different places. So how do you feel as a Black woman in America? Do you feel like you can make it here? Do you feel like it's a little tougher, but you can do it? You know, is it something encouraging about it? Or do you feel like, uh, and I can start with whoever wants to go.
I'll start.
Okay.
Um, so again, being from Jersey, lived in North Carolina, lived in Georgia, and also lived in Wisconsin. Back in Georgia, like living in different areas. I can honestly say now being in Georgia, I am more successful than I was previously, especially as a Black woman. Like this year, being promoted on my job from being a teacher to a vice principal um,
Mhm.
at a school. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you,
Yes.
thank you. Whereas in other schools, never seen me as in a leadership role, just
Mhm.
always just as a teacher, and that was it. And so Atlanta for me is just like just Black woman leader. I need you to do this, I need you to do that, I need your advice, I need whatever it is, your gifts, your talents, we want it, and it's being utilized and not used.
Yeah.
And if you can't
Yeah.
do something, cool, do you know somebody who can do it, and it's healthy, it's not I'm not burnt out or anything. So I can honestly say for me from the last couple of years that I'm cool where I am. I have not maxed out yet in Atlanta. So moving for me, absolutely not. Just got back 3 years ago. So I'm cool. So yeah, that's my spiel.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. So, Kat, what about you? How do you feel being a Black woman in America?
Um, I think it's bittersweet. Of course, we are proud of our lineage and our heritage, and proud of this brown skin, regardless of the hue that we're in. We're proud of that. We stand in that. We celebrate that. But we also recognize that there is so much that lacks for us in this country, which is why I think we've seen the move of what they've called the big migration, where you see so many of us moving out of the States and back to Africa and various other nations for that reason. But I do think that there is hope. I definitely believe that it again is about being able to strategically chart your own path. I think it's about discovering who you are, tapping into those gifts, those talents, those abilities, and being able to chart out where those elements will be best served, best utilized. Is it here in the States? Is it in another state, another city? If it's in another country, so be it. But it's about that personal insight, knowing yourself, knowing what you're capable of, knowing what you want, and being able to create that path of creating that roadmap of how to get it. I'm optimistic at this point. I
Yeah, I love it. I love it. What about you, Deidre?
They have said it all. I mean, I'm fine here. I haven't gotten to a point where I want to move out the country. I said that once I retire, but I still see I still feel safe. You know, I know there's a lot going on out here. Um, but I'm not at a point where I'm just like I gotta go. You know, yeah, I'm okay. I see a lot coming my way, so I'm good here.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like, look, all of you, I think too, in different areas, like Nikki was talking about, the Atlanta, Charlotte, DC,
Mhm.
it's a lot of different areas that are very
Mhm.
accepting of
Mhm.
how should I say, qualifications and not
Mhm.
necessarily skin color. It's like
Yes.
you got the qualifications, you can get the job done, let me hire you.
Yeah.
Versus, okay, she's black and her name is Keisha, so let me not put her on,
Right.
because we don't want Keisha on our billboard or whatever. So, it's
Mhm.
kind of like we are accepted where we are accepted. And I
Mhm.
can't change anybody's mind. If I feel to that extent, I can always become an entrepreneur. That's the freedom that I
Mhm.
have.
Mhm.
So I believe that things are looking up for us, but I believe,
Yeah.
like we talked about, it's going to be a slow progression. I don't believe that it's going to
Yeah.
be something overnight. And I believe that prayerfully that we will be able in our generation to see even more transpire as the years come on. And it's not
Mhm.
when I'm 100, we finally have another black president or something like that. And I'm like, I ain't think I'd ever see it again. So,
Right.
but yeah, I do understand women who decide to move, whatever is best for you. I believe that's what you
Right.
should do.
Right.
I believe that's the options that we have. And so, but yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool over here. I'm good. But I'm just open to whatever God has for me. And so if
Yeah.
that's in Africa or Europe or wherever, I'm good with it.
Right.
However that works. So yeah. But we are done. I'm so excited that we got to have this girl talk.
Yes.
Yes.
I loved it. Did you all enjoy
Me
this time
too.
together?
Of course,
Absolutely.
always.
Yes.
This was so much fun. I said we were coming back with something, and Nikki and Nikki has not disappointed me. Kat has not either. Me and Deidre are just along for the ride because we enjoy you all so much. Because we're always like, now these jokers are funny to me. Uh-oh, y'all done made my light go out. But
I
y'all
know.
have been
Maria called me.
hilarious.
I was like, Nikki and Kat. Yeah.
Exactly. Let's do it immediately. Let's do it now. She was like, "Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be straight." Because we were trying to figure it. I'm like, they will be excellent. We will have a good
Yeah.
time talking about girl stuff. And I believe that this is a good talk, because we talk about it amongst
Yeah.
each other, but it's good to put this out there. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Any closing remarks? Anything you guys want to say before we get off? Kat, Nikki, and Deidre?
No, I just want to
Yeah.
encourage, my sisters, to hold your crown high. And when you see your
Mm,
sister and she's downtrodden or she's hurting or she's going through something, it takes nothing away from you to help her adjust her crown and straighten it
Yes.
back up. We have nothing but each other. We have to have each other's back. And I know it's so cliche when we talk about women empowerment and black people
Mhm.
supporting black people, but it's necessary. We have to be
Mhm.
our own lifeline. Nobody else is going to do it for us. So we have to make
that's
sure that
right.
we're always paying it forward and keeping each other uplifted.
Mhm.
Most definitely. I love
Yes,
it.
and just know your worth, learn your worth and your
Right.
value, and whatever your value is, just keep it close to you and don't accept anything less than that. That's it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. All right, sisters, let's hold our crowns up high. Like Kat said, keep them on your head.
Yes,
And if your sisters is tilted, just go and help her push it back on up there a little bit.
that's it.
And don't tell everybody you adjusted it. Just help her out.
That's it. Yes.
That's the
I'm
truth.
not take no selfie.
That's right. Right. Well, I am so grateful to have you guys on, y'all. Please make sure that you share this with your girlfriends. We had an awesome talk today. Let our Black females in America right here on the Pink Table Talk. So we will see you the next time. Love y'all.